Hey YouTube, it's Rarity, and I'm glad to be back with another duel. It has been quite some time since I've had a duel video up, and part of that is because I had some computer problems. I had to go get a new computer because my other one was old and just it was time for it to die. However, I got a new i7 and processor, and it's just so much easier editing and doing, because these duel videos do actually take quite a bit of work. So I'm playing Qliphort here with my Brain Abyss deck, and he ends up winning the die roll, which is very, very important. He dualities and ends up grabbing a upstart, and I've come to find out that Brain Abyss versus Qliphort is very, very much who draws first, or who goes first and who establishes a good board. So he upstarts into a Summoner's Art, and then grabs a Scout off of that, and uses Scout to grab Sacrifice. Very, very lucky the fact that he was able to upstart into that Summoner's Art. And so he plays Carrier, activates Sacrifice, and sets a card. But as I was saying, this is a very first turn player usually wins type of matchup. I summon a Gruff and a Calca, make a Dante, end up milling the stones. I mill a Seer and a Scarm. However, I special summon a Seer from my deck, and it does get bottomless. Wasn't reading the bottomless, but I end up swinging my Dante over the Carrier just to put some damage in, MSTing the Scout, and setting 2 back row. During the end phase, I use Scarm's effect, and I grab Seer. I got a little bit of back row here, which is super, super important. I gotta have my back row in order to be able to defeat Qliphort's. He activates Night Beam, however, and kills my Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, and then tributes his Carrier for Disc. And I activate Vanities to stop Disc from being able to special summon. However, he activates Sacrifice and Carrier's effect. Carrier to bounce my Dante, and Sacrifice grabbing Scout, and then Sacrifice. So he ends up getting quite a bit off of that, and swinging into my Graf, which I couldn't special summon because Vanities was active. But really, that Night Beam set me back a lot. Like, even if he hit Phoenix Wing, or if he hit Vanities instead, the Phoenix Wing Wind Blast was a lot more important. And Night Beam has just become such a powerful card to use against Brain Abyss, which, we rely on our back row, and the fact that I only had 2, which isn't much at all, and just, being able to completely kill 1 is just terrible. So, but here I do go into a little bit of predicament, because that disc is 2,800, and there's not really anything other than Acid Golem that I can make to beat Disc. But if I make an Acid Golem, he can either A, just stall me out, and I won't be able to do many plays after that, because I'll have the Acid Golem on the field, and then I'll end up just taking damage. Or B, he could just end up killing it, and I have no backup plan after that, because he is not a floater, and Brain Abyss just floats, floats, floats. So I end up making a Dante, milling with, or detaching Graf and then milling with Dante. And just trying to, I was hoping, maybe I could get a good mill, but was not that lucky. Ended up summoning a Rubik, and then from my hand I special summon a Seer. And I knew I had to. The problem was that I just needed back row. Like I was saying, with Burning Abyss, I really, really, really need back row in order to progress and hold off my opponent. And so I used Dante to swing into Disc in order to grab a Burning Abyss from my hand in order to activate Virgil's effect. All the relevant monsters were already used up, however. So couldn't get an effect off of that. However, I was able to shuffle Scout back in, but then he top deck Scout anyway. So I was hoping if he wasn't able to set up anymore, that I might be okay. plus having the draw off Virgil. But he ends up making a massive board and putting in loads of damage, and that's something that, you know, unless I were to draw Raigeki, it's really hard for Burning Abyss to come back from. But this is how that match goes up, and I really do think it all came down to that Night Beam at the beginning. It was just too strong. So there will be a game 2 coming up. I'll be posting that probably today, or if not, then tomorrow. But it was a pretty good duel. This was our Tuesday night local tourney. This was the final match. I made a tour guide. I was just trying to do something. Nothing ended up happening. I scooped after this, but please do check out game 2, and there's actually a game 3 if I'm not revealing too much. But as always, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Rarity. Peace out.